Welcome back, and you're tuned into News and Views with myself, Sister Nafisa Dango, filling in for Brother Inayat Wadi. And it's all about changing our well-being in many directions, especially through the second wave. And not a better time to, of course, get Sister Louise Carter, a registered dietitian, nutrition coach, and wellness entrepreneur, to discuss how we can eat better and change, should we say, our well-being from the inside, holistically from the what we eat. During the festive season, I think a lot of us are on holiday and we start eating all the incorrect things. So she's going to give us some direction on that. A very good morning to you, Sister Louise Carter. Thank you so much for joining us on News and Views this morning.
Hi, Nafisa. Thanks for having me today.
I think it's always a pleasure having people wanting to entice us into a better space as far as health and well-being is concerned. And especially now with the second wave, I think people's mental well-being is not very good at the moment. But I think also what we eat and what we put in also affects us in many directions. So we want to thank you for joining us to be able to give us some insight into that. So talk to us a little bit about,
Yes,
it's been the festive season. It's been the festive season. We've been eating all the wrong things, as you know. It's time to splurge, as they say. So help us find some direction as far as getting back into a good eating plan and a good eating diet.
So I think definitely the festive season is time for having a good time, relaxing a little bit and being kind to yourself. So when it comes to getting back on track, what we start slowly. If we jump 100% into it and cut portions in half and cut everything out, then often what happens is we land up right back where we started and our plans just don't work. So what I would suggest is that we start very slowly, first looking at portion control. Portion control is always very, very important. But again, starting slowly and just taking a little bit off your plate every time you're dishing up. So instead of adding that extra spoon of rice or that extra little potato because it looks so delicious, start to take those type of things off your plate. And then the second thing would be sugar. So while we move slowly with portion control, sugar can come out immediately. Over the festive season, we have a lot of sweet things that come in, whether it's the little chocolates or it's the extra drinks or anything like that. So we want to try and take sugar out 100% from the get-go. And then I would definitely increase water. Also, over the festive season, we decrease our water intake. We replace it with whether it's another sugar drink, or maybe it's alcohol, or maybe it's something, milkshakes or anything like that. So definitely increasing water. Water is a natural appetite suppressant as well, so it can help you to just get over that little snack time. So if you are feeling hungry, rather have a glass of water and see if you're still hungry within about 20 to 25 minutes. And if you still are hungry, then go and have something to eat, but don't just dive foods. And then I think very, very important is to make some realistic goals for yourself. So often come January, we make these crazy goals because we're feeling so terrible and all we want to do is get back on track. But making realistic goals and having someone to do it with you is also very, very important. So if you can find someone who's in your space, whether it's a friend or a partner or a dietitian or anybody who's willing to help you with that journey so that you can be accountable to somebody, also helps. It helps you to stay on track and to keep you more accountable to your goals.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Louise, we're in a second wave right now and it's getting quite dire. What is it that we can do as far as an eating plan is concerned to able to boost our immune system so that we can kind of lift it up so that we're not so prone to getting this COVID-19? And I mean, as we know, the new variant is really bad.
Yes, the second wave is very, very scary. So very, very important to look at what we're eating. I think we discount quite a lot how much our nutrition does help, and we rely a lot on supplements. So if we can focus on the way that we're eating, so the first thing would be sugar. Sugar creates inflammation, and inflammation creates a lower immune system. So we take the sugar out, like I've just said, and then focusing on your fruits and vegetables. So with all the fruits and vegetables, we're getting all of our vitamins and minerals that we need. So focusing on those, the fresh is always better if you can get your hands on it. And a big variety is very important. So you don't have to have a different group of vegetables every single day, because that also can create a little bit of waste. So what you can do is for a couple of days, eat 3 or 4 different vegetables. And when those have run out, then go to the shops and buy another set of vegetables, so that we're getting a little bit more variety coming through. The more variety we have, the more variety of the vitamins and minerals that we're going to get. So definitely focusing on the fruits and veg to keep that immune system up, keep the vitamins coming, and also then again pushing the water. Water helps to flush your system. It helps to help the body to function properly, and every on that track, if you're dehydrated, the body doesn't function well. So making sure that we are pushing the water, pushing the vegetables, and staying away from sugary things, I think is probably and alcohol, if you are someone who does drink alcohol, also dampens the immune system quite a lot. So if we're focusing on what's on the plate, a lot of greens, more complex carbohydrates, we want to stay away from the simple things, and also of course your good quality proteins, and making sure that we're drinking enough water and moving. Exercise is also very important. Obviously now we need to stay in our own space. You can't go and exercise in groups anymore, but making sure that you're moving every day and doing something that makes you happy. Don't go and force yourself into a gym.
If you just walk around even if you just walk around in your own backyard, just get some form of exercise, get the body going in some way or the other. There's a few exercises that you can do, of course, in your own home to get yourself going. But one thing you spoke about that really got to me is the word water. A lot of the times people find ourselves on the move. Firstly, a lot of people don't actually like drinking water. The first things they go for are the fizzies or the of course, I call it the uppers because, they get into the Red Bulls with the guaranine and those kind of things, thinking that it's going to give them the kick that they need for the day. But of course, not realizing the type of effects it has on the system, especially now during this COVID-19 period.
Definitely. So often what we find is people who are looking for fizzy drinks, it's that feeling that it gives you as it goes down your throat. It's not necessarily the sugar that you're looking for. So a good tip is to go for sparkling water, which also doesn't taste wonderful. So if someone doesn't like regular water, they're not necessarily going to like fizzy water either, but it's a nice change. It gives you that feeling down your throat. What you can do is add fruit into your water. So some people will add those liquid drops, but that's an artificial sweetener. So we also want to try to stay away from that as well. So cut up a lemon, cut an orange, find some strawberries, blueberries, cucumber, whatever your flavor is, and add that into the water. So it naturally changes the flavor without adding any calories or any artificial sweetening to that. And then those uppers that you mentioned, those just create such havoc because they push you straight up and then drop you straight down again. So what I would suggest there is to focus on the food. People are going for those type of things with the caffeine and the sugar and all of those things to bring them up because the diet is not doing well. So if we focus all the time on getting what's on the plate correct, focusing on the water, then we shouldn't be needing or craving those type of things to pick us up halfway through the day.
Now, you've definitely taught me something this morning because I'm going to show you something here. I'm as guilty as everybody else is.
No.
I think tomorrow morning when you watch my show, I think I'm going to have myself a nice bottle of water with some infused cucumber or strawberries or something. And I think that's going to be a better version of getting into a better track of life. You tell yourself that your energy levels are down and you need something to really pick you up. But it doesn't help if we're having something as serious as this, as you were saying, these uppers help you. And it's so true because I've been having this. And then the next thing what happens is you find yourself going really downhill after you've had it.
Yes, definitely. The up is really high and then the low is very low at the same time. So that all that delicious Energate is doing is lifting your glucose up for about an hour or so, and then you're going to drop straight down again and probably look for something that's high in sugar, whether it's food or something else to drink. But you'll probably go and look for something high in sugar or high in carbohydrates. So you're not really setting yourself up for a great start for the day.
I see that. So I think I'm going to definitely opt for your idea tomorrow morning. I'm definitely going to come in with a nice bottle of fresh water with something infused, as you said, either cucumber or strawberries or whatever your flavor is like. And I think that's going to be, of course, a whole lot healthier for my body and for my system. Talk to me about um, just some information and last few words, literally about COVID-19 and what it is we can do just to keep our bodies going in a good way.
So I think if we can just focus on healthy things, the thing that I notice in my practice a lot is everybody knows what's right and what's wrong. We all know that we shouldn't be eating ice cream. We should not be drinking Coke. We should not be having takeaways, but yet we still do it. And why do we do it? Because it makes us feel good. So what we need to do actually is learn how to maybe put that type of love and feeling into the food that we're cooking at home, and realize that cooking at home, you don't need to be Jamie Oliver. You don't need to make amazing dishes at home. At the end of the day, when you're tired after work, 10-minute meals is all you need. So whether it's a quick stir fry with a little bit of chicken or chickpeas or some kind of protein in there, or whether you've cooked and frozen something and you're defrosting it, maybe it's some lean mince with a little bit of spaghetti or something like that, making sure that you're cooking at home. I feel like that is something that we can all learn. We all did it really, really well during the first lockdown because we didn't have access to takeaway foods, and making sure that what you are doing and what you are cooking is clean. So when I say clean, even when we buy these ready-made meals from our favorite Woolworths or Checkers or Pick and Pay, whichever it is, those are still considered takeaways. They still have a lot of preservatives in it. There's still a lot of salt and a lot of sugar sitting in those type of things. So you can make exactly the same meal at home.
Yes.
So rather take the time. There are so many recipes online. You can find them all over the place. And, if there's something like cream in it, if you're having this much of that big pot, this little bit is not going to make any difference whether there's cream in there or not, if you get what I'm saying.
Sure. Yes.
So if I can give anybody some advice, is to just cook at home and make sure everything is fresh. Get your vegetables fresh, get your fruits fresh. Make sure that if you are eating meat, that it's good quality meat. And if you are vegetarian, to have good quality vegetarian protein. So making sure that you're getting a good plant-based intake as well. And then focusing on the water and rest. Rest is very, very important.
I think we don't realize that much. But thank you so much. You've given us some valuable advice, and we're hoping that this has helped our listeners actually get into a better space, especially during this particular period. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us here on News and Views. You take care and do stay safe.
You too. Thanks, Nafisa.
Okay, bye-bye. That was Sister Louise Carter giving us a take on how to, of course, get our bodies into a better space, especially during the second wave. We're going to go for a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be back with Brother Abu Said from Sabri Chis.